Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Amalfi series here on the Lord Master channel, the newest Crusader Kings 2 Historical Immersion Project series. And now we will have a plan. Well, what plan? There is only one plan now. Possibly two. We know that Patrician Leone of Urso, the man of the house as we once called him, but I gotta drop that term someday or sometime because it reminds me of another quote that came from, my homeland in Texas. My home state, I should say. Which is a great man who once called himself the Bull of the Woods. But let's not discuss that right now, of what they mean by that, but you get the idea. So anyways, Patrician Leone. We know he's a devoted religious man who's got 6 negative money. I like saying negative money because it's funny to me when I talk about, it's like, oh, you are 6 ducats in debt, 6 gold in debt. But do not worry, we make a tidy income. And plus, I don't have much in the way of holdings other than my mansion and a new commune, which is city. Thanks to my liege, the Doge, Doge Sico, my fellow Langobard Catholic. We're brothers, so to speak. He fought a war against Naples, the theme of Naples, which is an independent duchy of a Greek Orthodox origin. We fought to take the city, and the city is mine. So now I have land for myself, but not the whole coast and all that, just the city. Enough for me to give me features such as domain overseer, contest rebels, promote debate, smuggler, weapon training, all that. All that a landlord should have. Well, what do you mean landlord? The lord of the land, the king of the land, But again, you are a merchant republic, but you're not running the republic yet. But Leone is not going to be the man who wishes to be elected to be running the Republic of Amalfi. He's just content with the city of Napoli itself, also known to, the world as Naples, or known to the Neapolitan peoples. Shout out to you, Neapolitan peoples living in Italy, not just Naples itself, but people who speak that regional language still. And don't give me any idea if I know some of its language. God dang it, Lord Master, that's not how you spell Naples. I'm looking it up, because there's a name. Alternate name. Native name. We know it as Naples. Napoli is the Italian name. In the Neapolitan language, it's Napoli. Napoli. But what would the name of again, Neapolis was the Greek name also, let's not forget about that. Because the original founders of that city were ancient Greeks. Magna Graecia, Magella Hellas, and all that. Which, by the way, for those of you who want to know more about Magna Graecia and Magella Hellas and how all that went down, you could go check it out on my very first Imperator Rome series, Tarentum, which I later became briefly as the Italiote League, and then became Magna Graecia for the rest of the cities. And now, back to here, so I have this city. The city is mine. It is under new administration, and it was recently conquered in a recent war, obviously. And I've invested my money to upgrade this town market into a city guild hall to get more income. Because here we don't make very much income, and that is a problem. And plus, all the other trade posts have these good, valuable ones. I mean, to be fair, they're all part of the Via Imperi trade route. Whereas on the other side, the Saldanid Emirate, or the Almari Emirate, is under attack by Italy, the Kingdom of Italy, ran by the Carling. So yeah, I picked the least valuable because it's not part of the road, but I only picked it so I can have a city for myself, thanks to the Doge here. And I'm sure one day I want to take other people's trade routes. by war. Now that I have a city, there's a better chance of that happening. Because, you know, gotta support the family. As I am the Patrician of Urso and the Patrician of Napoli, or Napoli, as the culture around here is Langobard, which is, you know, all over the place, except for Amalfi and Neapolis, which is still populated by Greek Orthodox, because this was formerly Byzantine territory, Eastern Roman territory. Well, since I'm in debt now, what am I going to do for the rest of this character's life? Well, I have a plan already, but first, get back over here. And two, I would like to be a saint, because we know he's a good Christian man. And luckily today is March, so make special plans for Lent and Easter. As a reminder, Lent is a period preceding Easter, during which the faithful abstain from meat, among other worldly pleasures, as an act of penance. It is a period of prayer, sacrifice, and acts of charity. The purpose is to meditate upon the sufferings of Christ and to grow in his likeness. How will I prepare for this season? I subdue the body to save the soul, as I am not malnourished yet, but I have this ambition. Be seen publicly as pious. So I want to be known as a pious man, to get up to 500. So every year you must observe Lent every year, like a good Christian man should, like a good Catholic man should. Praise the Lord and all that. And if you need more piety, you could ask him for it to repay the favor. But I'd rather use that for money, for monetary purposes, if he wishes to give away. And if he likes me enough, but he likes me enough. We're both brave, popular and all that. And the Doge here is moved to tears by art. When we are born, we cry that we come to this great stage of fools. Although you are not totally pious, as you are lustful and you have anger issues. But you are content, so hope for the best. And also I will take a vow of celibacy, by showing my devotion to God by becoming celibate. I don't wish to have any more children, because that would be, you know, cutting short of my path to monkhood. So, I am celibate now. Minus 1,000 fertility. No chance of having any more children. But it increases monthly piety, and that's rather important. You know what? Give me that favor right now. I'll repay it. Give me the money. Because when we raise the money up to 100, in case if I donate it to charity or something. After a long afternoon, after some pleasantries and idle talk, even after waiting longer for a late dinner, my request for financial help was well received, and the results speak for themselves. The joys of waiting. Thank you very much. Now don't spend it all at once. You need it for the charities, in case the Dominican order tells me to. So now away we go. And we all know that I have appalling intrigue. The Church teaches that Christ died for his sins on the cross, and must also seek his forgiveness and keep his commandments to obtain salvation. The priest implored the whole congregation to go to confession this Sunday. What will you do? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And what those sins are is unspecified, but I know what I did. Talking about my wife here. You know, let's not forget that we framed her, and then we tried to arrest her. My original plan was to have her in prison, ordered to take the vows, and then immediately be divorced as a result of ordering her to take the vows, for her to become a nun, and then I don't have to see her again. And 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 by the way, there's a bounty on her head if anybody wants it. There's money involved. And what else? And of course, I was supposed to become a monk, but I found out that there's an ambition that could help the character's chance to become a saint increasingly. There's a way. That's why I'm trying to do this, so I'm actually going to hold on to being a patrician a while longer. And for Manzoni here, well, he's going to have to wait a little bit longer to become, you know, the next heir to the family. So, yeah, forgive me, Father, for the things I just said out loud here on this program. Anyways, just look at the beautiful countryside of Amalfi, as it remains a peaceful province, whereas despite what goes on here, and also another reason why we're not making as much money, there's a sudden surge of wolf attacks that led to disruption of the herding industry, which that effect's going to be around for a while longer. So yeah, unfortunately, there's wolves out there and he's resting in the countryside. Well, he better watch out for wolves, as he's into high candy. Oh my. No wonder why he's been stressed. What does his wife think of him? Yeah, I understand. But anyways, he is risen. Easter is the most important feast of the church. All over Christendom, people gather at night in the church with candles unlit. Then the priest lights a fire and put a light to all the candles, whilst excerpts from the Bible is read from Genesis to the death and resurrection of Christ. At this moment, the whole church celebrates the victory of Christ, the victory of light over darkness and life over death. The period of fasting is over. The time of celebration begins. I don't need to spend money on that. Just say that he is risen. Just get the piety. Been getting a good rate of it. Observe Lent every year. Every February. Remember that. The crickets are chirping and singing quite loudly tonight. More so than usual. This is a rather an odd occurrence. Maybe it's a bad omen, like another comet. Or perhaps it is a good one. By the way, the day before this recording, there was a cricket in my room last night. It was flying all over my room, and then I eventually, you know, killed that said cricket. And what I did with the cricket is fed it to the cats that live outside of my house. They ate crickets. But as a good Christian man, just say, their music is beautiful. This is a good thing. Although, here's one thing. If there's a cricket in your house, kill it. But if there's a cricket outside, leave it alone. That's human laws of nature. Any creeper crawlings in the house, depending on what it is, you killed or not be killed it, or whatever. Anyways, I have just learned that the captain of one of my trade galleys has been selling part of his cargo to Pocario smugglers instead of delivering it as ordered. Apparently, hoping the amount sold would be too small to be noticed. The captain and his crew have been jailed, but the thieving scum have already spent most of their ill-gotten profits on spirits and women. Can no one be trusted these days? Just lost that money for that. Just trying to save up my money for charity upcoming. No, I'll never get that chance. City Guild Hall in Napoli is finished. What's the technology like compared to Amalfi? Similar. But again, I'm not getting any points because obviously you're only running a city. So my original home was this mansion inside of Amalfi, but now I moved to Napoli. What's going on? Multiple deaths in administration. Several important local officials happen to die around the same time. This will have a negative impact on the region's ability to govern itself effectively, at least in the short term. Well, he returned, so he got rid of his stress. What is the matter with that man? Multiple deaths in administration, but I'm glad I'm not one of them. No one is to touch me because I am a pious human being. I would go on a pilgrimage, but I'm not ordered to by yet from the Dominican orders. There are many mysteries in the Catholic faith. It might be interesting to spend some time delving into the old texts of the Bible. I will dedicate more time to reading the scriptures. Here's your piety. Hope you haven't been up to something. Oh, good lord, you're possessed. What happened to you? Somebody ought to call an exorcist. Only a character themselves could take an exorcism. That's what people of the Christian faith are allowed to do. Perform an exorcism. That's by their personal decision. What the hell's my son married to? Don't name it after my wife. Langobard names. I mean, they're of a Germanic descent, hence the reason why these Germanic sounding names, which I'm not too familiar with that, but I know some to a degree. No, don't even think about it. People who are possessed does not pass down to them. Doesn't work like that. Think of a pretty name. Ah, of course, Maria, of course. That's close to sounding an Italian name, but I don't know that. So congratulations, son, you got a daughter. Now keep trying for a son, if you want to have more male family members of this great dynasty, of this great house, I should say. In the past few months, I've been spending many nights reading the Bible. The text contains many items of wisdom and also gives hints to the most important mysteries of Jesus. These sacred texts illuminate me. And speaking of Jesus, it's that time of the year. Here's some more piety for you. God's blessing upon thee, Patrician Leone. The Dominican order is in need of more funds to maintain charitable functions. We hope you are able to spare some of your worldly wealth to help us on this holy mission. See, I would, but I don't have the money right now. My tutor gave my half-brother Sergio stressed. Hope you don't die of severe stress. I suggest that you go rest in the countryside. Now I'm publicly seen as pious in the eyes of the country. Here's the ambition I'm talking about. Become a saint. A true saint can only be created after one's death, but it is possible to embark on a path while one is still alive. It is not an easy journey, requiring humility and a dedication to religious ideals, but success means that one will enjoy piety and recognition, and perhaps a greater chance of beatification after one's passing. Failure, however, can mean a loss of piety, or worse, and failure will be far more likely the more sinful traits one possesses. So this is a challenge. The success, you will get the Paragon trait. Which again, first time ever that I've done it in the HIP mod, as a Christian. Whereas the previous ones, you've seen me do pagan and Indian faiths, like in the Gupta series. So, the path to becoming a paragon of the Catholic faith is a difficult one, and will likely take years of dedication and patience before it is rewarded, if indeed it is rewarded at all. There will be many setbacks along the way, and the purification of one soul does not come without trial. But a truly faithful could perhaps see it through the end. I shall persevere. So challenge accepted. If you want to be a true Christian, you've got to have humility and recognition. You've got the piety. Now just please stay true to yourself. That's all you need to do. As well as some approval from the Holy Father himself. And I'm not worried about my wife anymore. She ain't gonna kill me. There's a bounty on her head, and someone will get her eventually. Oh, look. Well, I don't think he's that good enough. I was about to say, what part of the boot are you from? I said, what part of the boot, because you know what the land of Italy is shaped like. He is risen. You know, it got me to thinking. I mean, I mentioned I would like to have more trade posts, but there is a way. You can declare war to fight for it, but that one's going to require a lot more, because if you want to take other people's trade posts, look at the garrison size. You're going to need a lot more than that. Plus, I don't want to fight that. That'll be my son, Mansone, to do his part. Oh, and by the way, Mansone, tell your wife to go see an exorcist. And I'll get my money soon. I was one of the first to saddle my horse and chase after the bandits who had stolen one of the valuable chalices from our church. When I returned, exhausted and with filthy clothes, I was told the old priest that I simply misplaced the chalice. He appreciated my effort at least. Here's your piety. During the evening's council meeting, cartographer Theodolinde, told us of a rumor she encountered. Peasants speak of an artifact hidden not far away from here. The specifics of her information are uncertain, but perhaps this would be worth investigating. We'll arrange the search, but as far as your skills is concerned, I don't know. I don't like that. That craven trait. In fact, Sergio? Landar, can you... that's a maybe. How about you? Craven 2. God blast it. Brother Pandono, how about you? I'll take my chances with him. You search for the artifact. Go with God, man. Go with God. What are these guys up to? The wolves are gone, but not the modifier of the multiple deaths in administration. You've been making changes a lot, have you? As I continue my search for God and saintly status, my humility becomes better known to those around me. Priests in Napoli mention me in their sermons, saying that others should take their example from me and put aside their own pride and concern for only themselves. All should strive for virtue. which is why my daughter decided to be a nun for such a young age of hers. I've always imagined that I would be first of us to go. Now I am the one mourning for the departure of my dear friend. Never again I will hear Sergius' jolly laugh or receive his wise counsel. It is as if I lost a central part of myself. I feel so powerless. Natural death? Natural death. He lived a pious lifestyle. Sergius would want me to let's drink in his honor. It's rather tempting to be sinned of taking up the drink, but we'll drink in his honor. Why, God, how could you be so cruel and take Sergius from me? I could find no relief, no escape from the all-consuming sorrow. No matter how many bottles are empty, all I could see before me is Sergius' pale and lifeless face. I'll never find a friend like Sergius. What did I tell you? It's not good to be drinking like this. You need to cut that. You can't be a true saint if you're going to be a drunk. The recent outbreak of sickness in Neapolis brings minds of tales of saints who administer to the sick, doing whatever they can for the poor and helpless. My advisors are alarmed, however, expressing their worry that exposing myself to such an illness is a very bad idea. I must do this. Of course I will help the sick. I have a high learning skill. Oh, God. Quick. Call a priest to receive an unction, to receive the anointment of the sick. The priest arrives and anoints me with oil, praying for the forgiveness of my sins and restoration of my body. It should profit the salvation of my eternal soul. Amen. It's only a 1% chance that you'll be cured of all illness. In other words, it takes a miracle to be cured of an illness. You are ill, but you are not dying. You have a theology focus, so you'll be fine. It'll be rid of. What you should be more concerned is to get rid of the drunkenness. Yet another morning, when I wake up feeling as tired as I went to bed, I should do something about my listless mind. Perhaps I need to spend some time alone. Seclude myself in prayer and meditation. You take the reins for a while, son. So now you know what he looks like fully, with the hair, without the headdress. I have gained a newfound respect for the hermits of old. My time spent fasting and praying in seclusion has done me good. God has helped me strengthen my mind. Well, time to cut down on the beer. So I will get rid of that drunkard trait. But there's a chance you might become temperate and or diligent. So, yes, it's a miracle. Getting rid of drunkard, but I learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. Moderation is key. I've become temperate. So now I believe in the virtue of temperatia, moderation, a valuable trait in rulers and stewards. So, the opposite of, not necessarily drunkenness, but from now on, I will only drink beer moderately. Okay? I can promise that. But I was healing the sick. And yes, I am sick myself. But do not worry. God will help me. He will heal the sickness from me. I'm a firm believer in that. Today I'm in town. By town, that could mean either Amalfi, somewhere in the countryside, or in Napoli. And I'm paying a visit to someone. Over here, the elderly gentleman says the security in Neapolis is terrible. Shameful, that's what it is. That he continues to criticize my guards and my decision regarding a protected region without noticing that I am right there. Huh. How many trees do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I am a man of humility, so I'll say reveal myself and apologize for my errors. You say, rule number one in life. Whatever wrongdoing that you did, always admit your own shortcomings, your own fault. What's going on? Byzantine Holy War. Oh, tributaries joining up. During my recent bout of illness, one of my maids is shocked to discover my hands bleeding, as if I'm suffering from the same wounds Jesus Christ suffered upon the cross. There is no evidence of these stigmata later, but the maid's tale has spread throughout Neapolis, and many have seemed to believe it. Perhaps I am truly blessed. I woke this morning and feeling much better. It seems that my illness has passed. Alive. I'm sure any doubters in either Neapolis or Amalfi, they'll be saying, there is a God! And this man is a good, faithful man that we should all look up to. Some would think that man's a living saint. Oh, yes, I forgot. Excuse me. Now that I'm all better, it's time for Lent. Every little bit of piety helps. In fact, if you get the piety up to 1,000 plus or more, it also increases the chance of the character to become beatified and later a saint. So you gotta keep doing that constantly. As I continue my quest for sainthood, there are those who compliment my extreme piety and dedication to the Catholic faith. My name is constantly on the lips of the priests during their sermons as they hold up as an example to others. Yes, I was tempted by the last year. I was tempted by the so-called demon drink. But because I was really sad that my friend passed, who was a faithful Christian, just like me. But the drinking overwhelmed me. And then I went on the seclusion of prayer and meditation. And then I decided to cut down the beer. And we'll practice moderation from then on out. Always drink moderately, I encourage you, my friends. Meanwhile, my private life has been an inferno. Given my appalling relations my spouse has with me, the quarrels pass the boundaries of our persons and affect the court. In the end, I'm the one suffering the most. All this negativity significantly hinders my capabilities. The level of quarreling is insane! I'm sure privately, he's thinking, why is she not dead yet? Why can't you let me divorce her? A plot to kill will never happen because there is a chance that I could be revealed as a known murderer, and then that'll be bad for my reputation as a man. It's just me and my wife had a disagreement, and we framed her and a few other things. But do not worry. She's in Abruzzo. Just to say, hey, look here, she's in Abruzzo. Any bounty hunters of an Italian nationality, go get her. So now I have a serious lack of harmony. So this is gonna hurt my stats until she is rid of. Oh, god dang it. Well, at least you say dang it, but not damn it. Don't take the Lord's name in vain if you're gonna be as well as Catholic. How long are you gonna keep up with this charade? And how long are you gonna keep up with this marriage with her? Because clearly she hears a voice inside her head. She's nuts. In fact, well, that'll be up to you. If you wish to divorce her, if she continues with that. He's making steady progress in the search of the artifact. Charity! Yes, donate to charity. Here you go. The Dominican Order has received your graciously donated gift. You have our thanks. In addition to those whose lives will be greatly improved by your charity. I only did my duty, Conversus. Didn't become charitable, but that's fine. I saw my duty and did it. A man claiming to be a lord who disappeared 7 years ago has found his way to my castle. By castle, you mean the city. the city hall. He sings of the fair queen of Elfland, and some say his songs are prophetic. Kindness is always good, but I would be in risk of losing one of the traits. But is he really a nice guy regarding, the spouse difference of bounty? But I'll just say, he's finally found his way home then. Bring in a courtier. He might have some skills. There's room. Lupus von Quartet Angus. They call him the Clueless, 65 years old. A tiny, ambidextrous man who is shy, gluttonous, chaste, and charitable. You could be a pretty good steward, but what else are you good for? Oh, you're better than my spy. In fact, switch positions. You'll be the new spy master. And as for you, you're gonna be fired. Because Mr. I was about to say Mr. Lupus. That would be Von Corterangs is a better steward. Sending it there. Because I need the money. My wish is to become a better Catholic has led me to the rule of St. Augustine. Since I joined the Dominican order, I have practiced charity. Yet it was not until today that I realized I was truly glad to let go of my personal possessions. Helping those in need is truly fulfilling. Praise the Lord. What trait am I going to lose? It's too many traits now. You can only have up to 5. Excluding celibate. Because that's lifestyle, so to speak. Just lost charitable. It's alright, I don't really need that. Ah! Oh, finally, someone got her. He got the bounty. It was a hard fight. Bruised torso. He got a lot of bruises. He was wounded. It was a hard fight, but he got her. The Duke of Florence. Bonifazi. Lombard. He is a pious person, just like me. And he's spending money on bottles. Well, I'm sure he'll spend more money on it now that he's got the money. With the passing away of my spouse, our quarrels finally ended and my mind can rest and concentrate better on other important matters. At last, serious lack of harmony is gone. As I continue my quest for sainthood, there are those who compliment my dedication to knowledge and learning. I'm a true Catholic scholar, they say, and the priests hold me up as an example to all others. Excellent. Excelente. Now I could go become a monk if I wanted to, but I say no, not yet. Not until I pick up that Paragon trait. And then, it'll be Manzone's turn. But now he's my spy master and my friend. So, I'm at peace now, finally. Eek, coastal flooding, you're not going to get much income out of that. Helping Byzantine again? Yeah, they're attacking the Caliphate for Cilicia. Cilicia's far from here, isn't it? Yeah, it's over there. That's where it is. I'll probably have to go on a pilgrimage at some point unless they ordered me to. But look at the total gain you have thanks to you being virtuous. I guess it is important to be zealous. Lent time. Lent and Easter time. For more piety. Still not malnourished. Natural death? Because you are old. Complications of tiny stature. Ah. Being tiny isn't healthy. By the way, there is a difference in height. He's not a dwarf. He's just tiny. So, here's the levels that goes. You got normal height. If you go upwards, you're going to have tall. And then you have the giant traits, right? Now, the other way, you have the short trait. And then the tiny trait. And then the dwarf trait. Give that man his old job back. Forgot his name. Who am I fired? You still around? Yeah, but he wasn't that good at his job. Oh, blast. I'm gonna need someone who's good at this sort of invite bureaucrat to court. It'll cost you 15, blast. Keep saying blast a lot. You ain't a good, well, average. A gun. Anything good will do. Now get back to collecting taxes. This used to be a peaceful province. What the hell happened to Amalfi? Oh, migration. Oh, I know that. For those that saw my Gupta series, you know how migrants can cause issues? There's a medium migration here. Also, rumors of the undead are back again. Actually, they've always been there, I think. Have they? I don't know. Migrations. So they decide to come to Amalfi. Hey, Amalfi is supposed to be a resort town for foreign visitors. Why are they coming to here? They're going to cause trouble here. And if there's a peasant revolt, we're screwed. In Neapolis, there's a small migration here too. Oh dear. People are coming here? Where do they come from? Oh, they come from up there. Oh, I know what's going on. That's those Longobards, one would think. They're moving down to the Greek-speaking areas. They want to live here because... Or people want to... I don't know. You viewers, you people. I'm pointing at you people. Use your imagination of why is there a large number of migrants coming from Alfi, Aversa, Neapolis, and Amalfi. Why are these people coming here? That may cause issues in the long run, which they already have in Amalfi. But there is a way to prevent that from happening. I mean, while the chance is low, but this modifier will expire later on, so the revolt risk will be slightly reduced. Paragon is drowsing off in his sleep. I ought to wake him before anyone catches on. But I need the money, so you owe me a favor. Pay up. Because I need the money for other purposes. The Order and God cares much for the souls of our members. As such, we would like to advise you to go on a pilgrimage, since you have not yet done so. Go with God. Signed, Conversus Isaac. Yeah. Pilgrimage. Just what I needed. So again, I can become a monk whenever I want to, but no, I want to complete this ambition before doing so. But don't worry about the polling intrigue. He'll back me up. Any known plots that comes up, we'll deal with it. Just looking around. Again, I could promote the debate in the council to win a political argument and gain ascendancy over one councillor. In that case, he would owe me a favor. In fact, before I go on a pilgrimage, I would like to promote a debate. Diplomatic debate on the council. Today I was at a council meeting. An argument about diplomatic policy being discussed arose. One of the council members opposed my reasoning and boldly challenged my point of view. I simply cannot order everyone around because I want. To have credibility, I need to conquer the people's hearts. I need to win the debate. I am debating with my half-brother, Chancellor of Napoli, who isn't all that good. Let's see, if I were to go aggressive, as this is a diplomacy argument, scores of diplomacy of both sides influence the outcome. I am not a socializer, nor gregarious, not shy. I don't have diplomatic education traits. Neither do you, Sergio. So one should consider as positives for both sides debate. Wroth, zealous. I am zealous. Not ambitious, not cruel. I am brave, so I'll go aggressive. Craven is a negative trait, influencing the aggressive stance of both sides. There's also traits that always influence an argument, such as quick, genius, slow, imbecile, shrewd at all, which neither of us are. Finally, generally speaking, the traits influence more than the stats score, so I'll debate it aggressively, because I am zealous and I am brave, like a true Christian knight. It's a heated argument. Eyes locked, I face my opponent by bashing his arguments and immediately passing on the counterattack. A discussion bordered on the contemptuous and many political barbs were traded between us. I will press it for the win. There's a 75% chance I will win, 9% chance of a draw, or 60% chance that I'll lose. And I win. The discussion lasted for a long time as my counselor attacked my arguments while I kept doing the same. In the end, using some guile and quickness of the mind, I prevailed. With a smart smile on my face, I faced everyone. My political prowess knows no equal. A little bit of prestige gain. And some diplomacy too. Now you owe me a favor, because you just got embarrassed, half-brother. And since you are having chest pains. So yeah. Now you repay me that favor. Maybe I should ask for piety. I would ask for more money, but you don't really need that right now. It depends on the number of my virtues, which is plenty. I'm not just, I'm not honest. I got no sins, I'm not deceitful nor arbitrary. But also influencing decisions the number of piety that he has. Give it a shot. Success is not guaranteed. Okay, time to go on a pilgrimage. Some faithful Christians choose to make a great pilgrimage at some point in their lives. A devout pilgrim is prepared to travel long distances in order to visit the holiest places of the faith. I shall go on a pilgrimage to seek God's grace at one of the holy places of Christianity. I will start making travel plans. There are a number of different holy places I could visit on my pilgrimage, all of them considered most sacred by the Holy Church. But a somewhat closer destination might mean a safer journey. But since I aspire to be a saint based on my virtues, I will seek out a saintly burial site rather than go to Rome, which is too close, and Jerusalem, which is quite distant, but further west, like, say, Santiago, that's about as distant. I mean, you're in the middle of the Mediterranean. So I'll go saintly burial site. See if I can learn something from them. If any at all. Still looking for it, huh? There have been many inspirational saints, and it is difficult to come to an agreement about where to go. But my advisors finally narrowed it down to a couple of potential options. All four of them, 3 I see, are good choices. But when it finally comes to making a decision, I feel that there's one more fitting than the rest. Well, after all, we mentioned St. Augustine a few times, so St. Augustine is well known for his importance to the Christian faith. So, gonna go to the saintly burial site of St. Augustine. Sergio saw the merits of my request and proceeded to address my spiritual concerns with religious authorities that granted their blessings upon my soul. All help is welcome. Well, thank you very much, and get well soon. And I hope the migrants don't cause trouble here. And all that undead talk better go away by the time I come back. Anyways, the journey to the ancient city of Hippo has been planned for a while. A traveler has to be prepared for what I might meet in the exotic lands of Africa. I am excited to be on my way to find my destiny as I search for the final burial place of St. Augustine. An exciting journey begins. I recall Hippo somewhere around here. Is it not? I mean, it's all along the coast. I recall. I'm sure the names have changed. And some are reduced to being tribal. There's Leptis Magna. I remember that place. It's either in Tunisia or Libya somewhere. But I always have fond memories of North Africa because of Second World War, North African campaign, and a few other things. Anyways, it's somewhere there. I'll have to look it up as we'll be on the way. An exciting journey begins. And son, you're gonna be the man of the house again, because one was for prayer and meditation at a secluded place, which I would have to assume somewhere in the mountains, which is a pretty quiet place to be in. But now off to the pilgrimage, while I will look up where in the world. Don't say what the, just where in the world. Like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I'm looking for a hippo. Not Hipponomus, but Hippo, the city. The ancient city of Hippo Regius. Is that it? Yes, sir. You're in Algeria. It's in Algeria. Oh, you're way off. You are way off. I mean, some of that's under control of Sardinia now. But anyways, I've come across another group of pilgrims, also traveling to ask for the blessing of St. Augustine. Traveling together could be beneficial and safer, though probably somewhat slower. It's fine to be gregarious, but I really don't want to lose my, one of my good traits. I like what I have, but I would say a proper pilgrim travels alone. And I've become shy for that. I'm always awkward talking to people. Gain shy trait. Well, hopefully you'll lose it. As I said, you are way off. Hippo is in Algeria, yet that's where St. Augustine of Hippo is from. So basically around there. It's in this area somewhere. There's been new sights to behold every day. As I travel to Africa, by my own estimates, I should be halfway to Hippo. I am not used to long hikes like these, but it's been a nice change of pace. I wonder what awaits me in Hippo. Annaba province. Yes, Hippo is located here. Although it's not there now, but it was an ancient city, but fortunately it's ran by Sardinians now. No Muslims. So let's speed it back up a bit. I wake up with a sudden to the hissing of a snake right next to me. This creature of the devil must have been sent to test my faith. I lost my humility, but I'm brave. But remember your bravery, I will say. I will vanquish this evil foe. And I've been wounded just for that. But hey, at least you didn't die. All of a sudden, I find myself in Hippo before I know it. It has been a long journey through the wilds, and to once more see people, it is nice. As I walk through the city streets, I compare to my homeland. I wonder how people have adjusted to these exotic lands. I should find my way to the burial site of St. Augustine as quickly as possible. That is what I'm here for, after all. Wonder what the grave will look like. Already there's Sardinian culture. But it is Catholic country. Wonder what the grave will look like. Who knows? So yeah, got bitten by a snake, but muskmallow perfume. Okay, no need for that. Anyways, it takes me a good while until I finally manage to find the chapel that I was looking for. As I enter, I could truly feel the presence of St. Augustine lingering in the place. I spent several minutes praying until finally a priest appears. I am taken aback when he explains to me that St. Augustine was in fact moved away from the chapel several centuries ago. That explains the lack of other pilgrims. I will remember this moment for the rest of my life. And that time that I fought a snake, that I was able to vanquish that evil foe, but it was worth it. Should do more pilgrimages to saintly burial sites. I don't do enough of that in past series. Now you can rank up the commissars, because I'll be returning home soon. It's been a long journey, but I finally started recognizing my homeland once more. The woods, the streets, and the people are all familiar, and I start smiling to myself. It's nice to be home. Just one more street and I am there. We are pleased that you have safely returned from your pilgrimage, and trust it has been an inspiring experience for me. Yeah, Isaac, that time that I fought that snake. Oh, excuse me, Prince Bishop Isaac. Yeah, I addressed him correctly. Yeah, I became a bit shy, but I got wounded. But hey, it was an unforgettable experience. And he's granted me permission to become the commissars. Thank you very much. My wish to become a better Catholic led me to the rule of St. Augustine. As I follow this holy path, I've noticed that my sense of ego and need for recognition has all but vanished. This change has helped me to focus on the things which truly matter. Praise be God. Please get rid of that. Should I trade? I like to be as virtuous as possible. You got it. Now I'm no longer zealous. Well, don't try to be a doubter now. Now I'm no longer wounded. And now I'm scarred. On the face here. So yeah, that snake bit me in the face, but it was worth it. God's blessing upon thee, Commissars Leone. You have impressed us all with your noble rule and adherence to the rule of St. Augustine. As a reward for your recent advancement in rank of commissars, I have sent you one of St. Dominic's finger bones. Protect this holy relic with your life. You honor me, Conversus. My first artifact. This little bone is said to have come from a great saint. But hey, if I ever become a saint... Well, then again, I'm humble. If I was a little proud, I would be saying... I'll be telling these people that are writing on the gravestone that says, hey, don't take any of my bones. Alright? But the ambition is not complete. Keep that well in mind. What's the Pope doing? Are you at war? You're being raided. By Norsemen. Norsemen in the Mediterranean? Oh dear, we ought to be careful with that. So what the hell's going on up there? Peasant revolt. Huh. Hope there ain't no peasant revolts here. Blizzards in Amalfi. And Neapolis too. Blizzards came down here. Levy reinforcements. Medium migration for now. I mean, this is a mild winter there, but blizzards suddenly from there and even reached down here. Freak winter storm. Yes, son, anything to support you. What wrong has she done? Is it because she's a dwarf? I mean, she lives here in Neapolis. What wrong has she done? I'll say no, son. There's no reason to kill an innocent woman. And yeah, she's raised a Muslim child, but she doesn't live here. She lives in Biskra, under the wali there. That time of the year again. You got your virtues, but I'm not zealous anymore. But one day, I will be zealous again. Really should. Oh, there's more choices. I guess this is what I get for being zealous, without being zealous. So I'll just say that the usual shtick. And due to my shyness, if I ever become a monk, so it's likely I'll just be an old hermit. Doesn't want to live with people. Just be in seclusion for the rest of my life. Sounds like a good idea. Friendly innovations. It's a peaceful province again, thanks to the Doge. There are whispers in my court that one who has so much wealth cannot be truly be considered humble or charitable, and that much dedication to the material world is hardly the sign of the saintly. Give away all of my wealth? All of it? I mean, fortunately you live in a merchant republic, so the amount of money you make is just fine. And plus, you can get favors from other people to give me money. Yeah. Just say, wealth is unimportant to me. Hey, I need money. Quick! Give it to me. Thank you. Just can't take that opportunity, can't you? Still looking for that artifact? Are you sure you haven't been drinking lately? You a board gamer, you? Well, looks like they win this peasant revolt, so this area is going to be an independent entity, thus complicating the map of southern Italy. Especially now this is all under Kingdom of Italy control. Salerno's been left undisturbed. Benevento is no longer paying tribute to Italy. Capua is still independent. And now it's gotten smaller for this one. In fact, is there a trade post there? Oh yeah, there is, but... You know what? I wish you could go to war for other people's trade posts, but I guess you can only do that from one fellow merchant republic to another. Like, say, if I were to fight against Venice, you could take one of their trade posts far away from here. As you can see, it's trade zones. But you cannot go to war against Ragusa, because you would have to go to war against Byzantium to do so, and you do not want to do that. Excuse me. Come on. So, those peasants about to run this area, as it's populated with Latins. Don't want to be under Greek rule. So now, peasant ruler. There you have it. And they got an artifact. 2 books that they've looted. Hope that it doesn't ever happen here. Peasant revolts on a weak merchant republic would spell the end of the republic. As long as they don't do anything stupid. That's why I'm not going to be the man who's going to run the republic. It should be Mansone. And as long as he puts his campaign fund and a lot of prestige, which he's going to have plenty of work to do with that if he wants to be elected one day. Oh yeah, my daughter, sister Emma, she's the nun, said she was a young teenager. They just got aboard the ship. They're off to the front again. Kinda makes me want to go to war with them, but if only I was running a republic, because I'd like to have Naples for as part of the expansion of the Politia of Amalfi. Am I crazy, or was he always Greek? No. He converted his culture from Langobard to Greek. I don't like that. Peasants are upset. Let's hope it doesn't get any worse. Whatever happened to that peaceful province modifier? Somebody should do something about that. Well, I guess you can't do that. What about the other? Small migration, and later this year, this revolt risk will go away, and then we'll start making more money again. Despite the troubles here. Yes, I know. I'm only intrigued. What else? I have something else in my mind, but I kind of lost it. Oh, yes. It's that time for Lent again. Forgive me, Father, I have sinned once again. You may never know what sins I did last year. How is he? Well, what do you mean, how is he? It'll be revealed at a later time when he grows up. But knowing Mansone, I think he should name it after you. Because I can't think of anything creative as far as names of the Langobard culture. But at least you got a grandson. I got a grandson. Ah, huh. So I hope he grows up to be a good one. He is risen. What great activities that I must do to be considered a Paragon. Still at war, I see. Imprisoned. I guess he was their commander, yeah. Celibate commander at that. Oh, he went away. Or they got on the boat. Good Lord. Every one of the Sunni faith is going up against them. Revolt. Have they ever invested in building other buildings, huh? No. Anyways, Court Chaplain Pandanov has spent many weeks spent over the ancient tomes and scrolls in search of more information regarding the rumored artifact. He claims to be on the right path, but apparently the progress is slow. I may want to guess why. He has asked me to order the best scholars of Neapolis to aid him in his efforts. Well, I don't have any technology spread here, so the brightest minds shall be at your disposal. Basically, the brightest minds that this city has. It has become a volatile province, so be careful with that. Now we have significant progress to find that artifact. I have encountered Donata Stefano many times while carrying out my duties for the Dominican Order. It's always been a pleasant occasion. We could talk for hours, and if time allows, because he never bores me, while our discussions are often lengthy, while we seem to agree on the matters which are most important. A dwarf. What? Wait a minute. Apparently he's a historical character? Oh. Yeah, let's be friends. Give me a sec. Okay, I had to stop recording so I can look up the Wikipedia link. You know who that guy is? Stefano, the Lombard. He is the man who went on to become Pope Stephen VI. Yes, Stephen VI. He was the Bishop of Rome and later ruler of the Papal States from the 22nd of May, 1896 to his death. He is best known for instigating the Cadaver Synod, which ultimately led to his downfall and death. Yeah, that's the guy. Well, what do you know? The potential future pope, if anybody cares, but right now he's currently the Chancellor of Mantua and heir to the Bishopric of Mantua. Well, what do you know? The guy who would go on to do that Cadaver Synod is pals with Leone. Ah, good timing, because I was figuring out what the hell am I going to do with that money. And also, Isaac here would also be saying, also, by the way, it's like, P.S. Stop cursing! Because of what I just said just now. Now, donate to charity. Yes, I've become charitable again. See what virtue am I going to lose? I would be fine if I lose either brave or shy. Because think of how many... We can only hold 5 traits, but imagine having 5 virtues. That would make them look good. I'm looking at it. I lost temperate. Anyways, the highest reward. My court chaplain has recently broached the subject of organizing a high-level meeting between myself and the Pope. This is a great opportunity to further relations with such a powerful figure, and very good things can come out of it. There's also the serious risk. It also it is also a serious risk if the meeting does not go according to plan. The Pope is Clemens II, who is a poet. He's patient, he's envious, erudite, wary, and zealous. He's dedicated to St. Ambrose. He's taking it easy now. He's also sincere. He's practiced small talk, and he's patron of the arts. And he's been Pope for 5 years. 5 years. Oh, we could be adept for a while, but it's not going to affect the land that I hold, because I only hold the city, not the county. So I wouldn't worry about it. So I would say very well. Mainly, I would debate over faith. By meeting with the Pope and discussing matters of faith, I'll be judged by my learning education, my learning stats, which is very high. I am not a theologian yet, but I am a mastermind theologian. Not an erudite yet. I have 3 virtues. I am not any of these religious traits. I'm not cynical, I don't got no sins in me, nor decadent, and with the exceptions of Muslims. I'm not a kinslayer, because I don't kill people. None of that. Also, personality of the Pope also plays a role. For instance, if the player is zealous, but the Pope is cynical, there's no bonus given to the player, or if both are zealous, the bonus is much bigger. Well, he's zealous, whereas I used to be zealous up until that, that little pilgrimage thing, and he ate with the snake. So time to go meet the Pope, which isn't too far away from here. So I guess they invited me by saying, it's like, hey, we heard you did a lot of good virtues. I heard about your exploits. From saving the life of your half-brother from that bear in the mountains of Amalfi. And a few other things. Oh boy. I sneezed in the middle of a meeting with my counselors. No one said bless you to me, as if they did not notice. Whoa, calm down, man. It is no matter. It's no matter. It's alright. You probably forgot to say, but trust me when I tell you. I know my real-life brother. Whenever he sneezes like 2 to 3 times average. He never sneezes once. He always sneezes 2 to 3. Not per day, but at a moment. Like, achoo, achoo, achoo. And at times, well, if Leone was around here, he'll be like, achoo, God bless you, achoo, God bless you, achoo, God bless you. Low domain centralization. I'm all for centralization. I approve it. No. Use that as a background. I could ask for money, but he says no. But anyways, in my meeting with the Pope, I shared my fears and my hopes in terms of faith, and it was clear that my words were taken with much sympathy. After this meeting, I feel at peace with myself and the world. I have been giving a holy blessing. Pope Clemens II is thoroughly impressed by me, and I gained a big piety bonus for this. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm very happy with this. Again, try to get up to 2,000 piety. That further increases the chances of this character to be eventually beatified and when upon his death, and then eventually be canonized as a saint. But hey, listen, I need money, 'cause I'm in debt. He'll give me 74 gold. How much do you got? Oh, plenty. I mean, when I met with him, he was wounded before, but now he's become infected. Well, before you die, I would like to request money. That's in case if you die of an infection. So that's going to cost me some piety for this. But, hey, what are you going to do? To the Honorable Patrician Leone, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. Of course I will give you some funds to help spread the faith in your realm. I trust 74 ducats will do? Yeah, thank you very much, but... yeah. And plus, need some of that piety back. As I will be making special plans on Lent once again. If there is time, I could become a conversus. You need to get rid of that volatility on fast. Whoa, what's going on here? Influx of miners. The captured migrants are forced to work in the province's mines. That's good for the money. But Pheasant's still upset. What kind of policy is he running here? Hey, Doge, what policy do you have on migrants? Lack of harmony, manipulative spouse. Clear, there's something going on over there. Sacrificed cattle to close gates of hell. Wait a minute, there was a gates of hell in Amalfi and I wasn't aware of it? What is the matter with you, man? You can't run a state properly. Apparently the gates of hell were opened in Amalfi, and you decide to sacrifice cattle to close it? If you called upon me because, you know, I live in Napoli now, if you called upon me over there, I would have closed that gate to hell for you through prayer. Would have told, "Begone, demon," and then close the gates and all that. Oh, brother. Oh, his chest pains finally got to him. It was bound to happen one day. Well, you're the only chancellor that's suited for this. Returning from his travels, Brother Pandinofus brought him a small box, which lies a pair of ancient iron manacles and chains. These, he claims, however, once held Saint Peter in Herod's dungeon. Wow, really? Think. You may be my court champion, but you did a very good job for me. I never would have imagined we would find an artifact such as this. I don't want to make him feel disappointed. Paying him is kind of whatever to me, but... favors are always good, but since you are a pious man, I'll tell you what. He's earned my favor. The chains of Saint Peter. The Pope's got the bones, and I got the chains. What? Hold on. Ships from the Republic have traveled far and wide in their relentless pursuit of trading opportunities. And as a result of the accuracy of my sailors' nautical charts has been improved, coastal waters that were previously seen as treacherous can now be navigated in relative safety, shortening the time it takes to complete certain routes. You can never have too many charts. Or even more. Now, the chains. The chains that held St. Peter in Herod's dungeon until the saint was released and led to freedom by an angel. Plus one learning. And you know, one day that I'm going to have to retire from monkhood, so... I mean, these two artifacts are good and all, but... I'm going to need you to hold this artifact with me. These are very important, and I'm going to be, you know, one day I'm going to leave this place. So I'm giving these to you. I can get more artifacts by any means. So I'm going to give you these two. For safekeeping. And also for the love of God, don't sell these artifacts to anybody for whatever money that you're going to be spending on. I got my own money. I live my life as other men do, navigating rocks and obstacles, doing my best to achieve success in my endeavors. Still, everything we do takes place in the light of Jesus, and we must take care lest the influence of Satan comes into our lives. I should ponder this more deeply. Religious studies is now replaced with religious philosopher. That's what Leone has become now. A religious philosopher. He's an experienced and dedicated seeker of religious knowledge and insights. Here's the bone and the chains. Dusk at the market. I rushed to the local market as the sun was setting, hoping to buy something I really wanted, but the merchant told me he all had run out of that product. It will be a long time before I can acquire more of it. He told me apologetically, even if I were to pay him a lot of money, he won't be able to get it from me right now. Patient is always a nice treat to have. And I am already humble. So I'll just say, at least he's honest. Can't do much now. There's a chance I could become content, or become patient, or stay humble, or nothing at all. And I would assume I got humble or nothing at all, so don't worry about it. Everything is temporary in this world. You know that, right? Who's there? Kirk Kent. What the heck? Oh, it's a revoke war. Whatever you do, don't get involved, please. Don't get involved in any wars. In fact, you're not even capable of waging war right now because of your lack of harmony and that spouse's... Well, now you understand why. You ought to be careful who you're married to these days. Perhaps we should save the money on a mansion. Upgrade it to a great mansion before I go. Or that'll be up to my son. I mean, I'm not investing in my campaign fund. No, I'm looking to retire as a monk. What is this? An independent baron. Oh, yeah, they're trying to get it off of him. Trade curtailed here. Don't get much city tax. Migrant raids. Just hope to God there is not a single revolt that'll outbreak out there. Just take a drink. Excuse me. As I continue to search for God and saintly status, my charitable nature has become better known to those around me. Priests in Neapolis mention me in their sermons, saying that others should take example from me and put aside their own greed and envy. All should strive for the virtue. There's another huge bear somewhere. Well, there was one bear near the caves of Neapolis. I mean, Amalfi, excuse me, where it first occurred, and now here. That explains it. There's a huge bear lying around because, here's an excuse, there's a coastal flooding as of late. The bear's residents can't live there anymore, so it's around there. My protostrator, so he insisted I'd come when my men and I went hunting for the bear. Hey, I fought a snake and survived, so... Enough of your nag, you can come along. The bear was huge, bigger than any bear I'd seen. I fought him bravely, but only managed to slay him after he wounded several of my men. He's a man with good deeds, so I'll manage to save him. Just be a nice guy to him. The herbs I bought today should help me stay healthy. Per the physician's instructions, I am to drink it daily as a tonic to maintain my health until I run out of it. Hope this is a good investment. So, here's increased health while drinking herbal tonic for a year. Combination of herbs, plants, animal parts, bones, and rocks have been verified by learned and knowledgeable medical practitioners to be one of the most effective health tonics currently available to most people, rich and poor alike. Don't worry, you'll get your turn soon. Just my time to be a monk has not come yet. I have not picked up a Paragon trait. There is much more work to be done. Go for it, duty. I don't know why you asking me for that. Shouldn't you ask your father to receive what kind of childhood focus it is for? Just saw the month. I'm still waiting for another mission from the Dominican Order. That's the reason why. Why is it quiet lately? So I'm just still waiting for another mission. Like what I must do. Penance? I have not done penance yet. Who's that? Sub here. Nomadic raiders in Italy from far away. Sabir. They come from a land far, far away. Avars. There's no man better than increasing the church's opinion of me, or teach me to become a more pious man than my court chaplain brother Pandinov, the drunk. So, teach me to be a pious man, as I already know. Drought. What are you doing? Italy, Byzantine. The Joe War. They want to kick Byzantine out of there. So it's a big war that they're fighting. Glad I'm not involved, nor is Amalfi. They shouldn't get into that business. And they're fighting off the Avars. Yet another morning was wake up feeling as tired as I went to bed. Should do something about my listless mind. Need to spend some time alone. I'm getting newfound respect for the hermits of old. My time spent fasting and praying has done me good. God has helped me strengthen my mind. I resolve to be a better man. Hard work is always needed to achieve something in life. I've gained a diligent trait. Now, what trait must be rid of? Because there's too many. If I lose brave or shy, I'm good. I'm fine with it. I lost chaste, I believe. But you're celibate, so it matters not. Oh, hey, Isaac. Fascinating. I shall visit a monastery where this feat's being accomplished. This is talking about roses. Oh, charity? Of course, charity. I have yet to do any of that, you know. Choose business focused on Amalfi. Yeah, it's been a while. It will remain the same. Core workers of Amalfi. Escort through the gardens of the monastery and immediately spot the work of Brother Isaac. The roots are a delicate mixture of red and yellow. Here is sunset at their center. They're beautiful. My escort nods, offering a small spade. They're a little cramped there, though. Would you mind helping out? Oh, I could do that, I think. I got, green fingers. Scared us away with plants. I wish to become a better Catholic. Led me to the rule of St. Augustine. Following the footsteps of St. Dominic, I realized the value of kindness. Every display of compassion brings us close to a purer, gentler, and holier world. Praise be God. Now I'm kind, but too many traits? What did I tell you? Please give it a shy. It's the only negative trait I see. Lost kind. Oh well. What do you think? Don't discredit my son. He's a good man. You have any friends or rivals? No, just that. Yet you had me to do charity work. Wish I was zealous again, but oh well. As per usual, just to get as much piety as this character as you can. Sounds like a snake got her. Don't dwell your mind on this. Just do the standard procedure as any good Christian would. Again, I will become a monk at any given time, but I'm waiting to get that Paragon trait. I thought men saw that I had more tact than criticizing so much choice of lifestyle in public, especially a friend's lifestyle. I am celibate and proud of that. I would never denounce anyone's lifestyle, no matter my opinion on it. Next time, talk to me first before making it a public matter. You have children. I don't need more children. My daughter is pious, and you should look up to her. And I understand where you come from as mysticos, but still. Just who are you to judge me of the lifestyle that I live? I've gone through a pilgrimage for a place, and I came back with scars, alright? I'm a brave man. Maybe one day you'll understand. He inherited. That means he's got a barony to himself. That means another source of levies. It's been a very nice experience for bringing Dark Ages together over the years, with a considerable amount of time involved. Recently, I decided to set up a PayPal donation page for the kind souls who want to buy me a coffee for it. And if you feel like that, just click on the donate link at the top of the description section of the Dark Ages Steam page, or press the donate button in the Dark Ages thread in the Paradox forum. Thank you for the free coffee. I don't want to be intrusive at all. If you don't change characters and continue playing with the same dynasty, this message will happen twice per game. The other message, 75 game years from now, after you take your time playing Dark Ages some more, independently your decision. It is a pleasure for me that you picked the Dark Ages to play with. Thank you. Message from the guy who made the Dark Ages mod, which was a great addition to have in the past 3 series that I've done with Prussia, Sogdia, and Gupta, and now Amalfi. But still, one day, Mensone, you will run the Republic. I mean, you will be the next head of the family, the Patrician, and then after that, you need to spend your campaign funding to get yourself elected to the Republic so you can run things here and manage things. I visit someone living nearby, and I noticed there's a lot of chives hanging from the walls, ceilings, doorways, and more. My host says it's to ward off evil and disease. Maybe I should try this. Anything to keep away from snakes, because there was a snake that killed one of the courtiers living in the Napoli or Napoli. Almost there. Maybe it's entirely possible that I could be promoted to conversus before I will finally pick up that Paragon trait. No. You're not killing anyone. You ain't killing nobody, you hear me? There'll be no killings in my house. After pursuing some old text bought by a savvy merchant, given my extensive culture and inquisitive mind, I could buy some of them in order to study and attempt to increase their knowledge. What will I do? It doesn't affect my learning, and that's all that matters, so based on that amount of money I have, I'll pick the philosophy classics. Hey, gonna need some money from you. Thank you very much. So you just spent that recently. Alright, one more year before we will end this episode. And get ready to make plans for Lent once again. As any good Christian man should. And I just became malnourished. This character has a very fragile health. Living like a monk. Where you don't eat as much. He's risen. Could donate to charity one more time for 100 devotion, and then you will reach that final rank. My decision to become celibate is very private. It felt a bit disturbing to have Matsai ask you all these questions about celibacy again with this. What it meant, the reason why I felt compelled to choose celibacy. I tried explaining as thoroughly as I felt comfortable, and Matsui listened attentively to whatever I told him. Everyone should try celibacy. I really think you should try it one day, son. Could be good for you. And now, let's donate charity one more time. Just to rank up to converses. So there, I achieved my years in life. Yep. Here I am. Converses, so that's another +10 devotion. True dedication to the Catholic faith cannot be done from the throne. If I am to be truly saintly, I must retreat to the monastery and take vows to serve God and only Him. Here's my chance. This is the abdication we're talking about. Well, properly, since this is not a kingdom, abdication is not the word we use around here. Since I run the Patrician of Neapolis, quite honestly, the proper term is resign as mayor or retire as mayor of this city. Despite the fact I'm in the middle of learning, but it'll be finished. So I could say, Mansone, as he's turned 30 years old, you're going to be the new man of the house. So, oh, and one last thing. Since you have some money, I'm going to give some of my money to you before I will finally go. And that's the reason why I gave these artifacts to you. There. now it's time for me to leave. I will live my life in the service of God. 100 piety. Patrician Leone resigns and will go to Manzoni. Leone will become a monk, and Leone will be referred to as brother as a title. And he will also be content, possibly, as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is how we end this episode. That is how we end this episode. Brother Leone has now become a monk, but hopefully in his later life he will become a paragon and he will have even more piety. Because with that amount of piety, it is highly likely he will become beatified and later canonized a saint whenever his life ends. So we'll keep tabs open with him. Skip one day, and then there you have it. So he's a monk now. May he complete his ambitions and not fall to temptation in his life. And we'll find out what the rest of his life is going to be like, as he now resides in Capua, right next door. Where in Capua exactly? Adverse. So he went over there. So now he resides in that court. Doesn't like the liege, because apparently exterminating us. But we'll talk more about this in the next episode. It is time for Manzoni to take charge of the family, and perhaps one day run the Amalfian Republic, as it is in need of some help, because the Paragon is incapable of running things properly. So now Napoleon intrigue modifier will go away. So he's got a lot of work to do. So tune in for the next episode. But until then, so long for now.